Hi, this is Matt Yetter with Sherlock Home Inspections. Phone number is 971-212-7481. Website address is yourinspectionneeds.com. Today's date is Saturday, September 12th, 2020. The address we're inspecting today is 20825 Southwest Wright Street, Aloha, Oregon, 97007. We are about to perform a video inspection of the property's main sewer line through the front yard exterior cleanout. The equipment being used today is the Rigid Sea Snake. This is one of the best sewer cameras on the market today. Before we get into this video inspection, it is to be noted that some H sewer pipes made out of clay, concrete, cast iron, asbestos, and Orangeburg may be in good working order and may never have had a clogged or sewer backup before. However, due to real estate transactions, attorneys, and lawsuits, Sherlock Home Inspection must recommend the following to meet the current codes. All sewer pipes should be watertight, made out of cast iron ABS, 3034 or HDPE pipe with all appropriate fittings and couplers. All sewer pipes should be free from breaks, offsets, separations, tree roots, bellies, and party sewers. Sherlock Home Inspections recommends replacing any sewer pipe that does not meet the specifications. Here we go. We are in 4-inch cast iron pipe. We are running some water to ensure that our pipe is watertight and is going to remain watertight throughout this inspection. We are seeing some normal aging and deterioration at the joints. Would be expected on a 40+ year old, 35+ year old sewer pipe. Pipe shows no recent signs of blockage or backup. And because it is an older metal pipe, we would highly recommend having a sewer scope performed periodically, keeping an eye on things. I would recommend typically every 2 years, every 2 to 3 years at the most, just having a sewer scope done again, keeping an eye on the pipe. We are seeing normal aging and deterioration, like I said, but everything after about 15 feet looks to be in working condition. There again is what I'm talking about. You can see just that deterioration at the joints, normal stuff, but doesn't appear to be compromised at this point. After about 30 feet, we like the nice downhill pitch in the pipe. We're losing the pitch here a bit, so we're going underwater as we get out into the road, about 31 feet, and we pop right out of it. So there is a little bit of a belly, but it's very minor. Turn off the water on the pullback so we can see kind of how that area reacts with the water off. But I'd say we go underwater at about 31.5 feet, and then we're out of it by 32.5 feet. So very minor, about a foot. We're going to transition there. And we see that it's also a typical area to see some standing water. Usually we'll see it at a transition or at the bottom of a straight down dive. So in this case we're turning to transition into a much larger pipe, and you're getting a little bit of that standing water. into the city lateral at around 77 feet. So this is the end officially of buyer-owner responsibility, about 76 feet, 77 feet away from the house. For the most part, we had a pretty good downhill pitch. We had one area where the camera head went underwater, so a little bit of a water belly there. We're going to turn off the water. We're going to evaluate and see how everything kind of reacts with the water off. You know, like I mentioned before, we have an older pipe here. It's metal. We'll keep our fingers crossed that it keeps on going and going, but we would highly recommend having a sewer scope performed every 2 to 3 years, just keeping an eye on things. And I think you almost have to go into this knowing that at some point, you know, may need to be updated. But as of right now, it looks to be in working condition. But again, we want to take it back with the water off and look at that area and see how it reacts with the water off. Okay, so here we go again. This is with the water off. There's no running water. You can see that we had about a foot where we went underwater, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 9 to 12 inches. So with no water on, it looks like it shrank even beyond that. So we hit the water, we go under. I don't even think we went under at that point. So we about half of it drained out, so we're feeling even better about things. Yeah, I don't know that it's even going to go underwater. It's bumpy, so it's splashing up on the lens, but I don't even know that it's actually submerging at this point. Yeah, so I would say at this point, it's just a good candidate for keeping an eye on things. So we'd recommend having a sewer scope performed every 2 to 3 years, and you kind of have to go into this knowing that you're buying a 40-plus-year-old sewer pipe. At some point, and like I said, we'll keep our fingers crossed that it just keeps on going and going. At some point, this will most likely need to be updated in a modern plastic piping material. But as of right now, you take a snapshot of the property currently today, the sewer pipe appears to be in working condition and passes inspection. And again, like I said, with the water off, it drained out of there pretty good. And I don't even think it goes back underwater now that the water's off. And then we make that turn, and then away we go, and we look pretty good the rest of the way. And so all we're seeing is just some normal aging and deterioration. And with the amount of weight on these pipes, with the amount of rain that happens in the northwest, certainly additional leveling can happen. And so again, just one more reason to keep an eye on things. So the pipe can always shift. There's lots of weight. There's lots of rain that happens. All of that stuff can cause it to shift. But again, as of right now, it appears to be in working condition, and I would think it's just a case for monitoring.